Hi.
Hi.
I don't know what's happening.
I have real coffee today. Cheers.
Welcome back. There's glitter all over our
Nice.
table. Welcome back to another episode of Just Ignore It.
Good morning. DJ Dave and Electric Liz. Electric Elizabeth. Lethargic Liz.
Can we take the glasses off? People need to see your beautiful eyes so they can look into your soul. All right, we have a little guide today because last week we went a little rogue. We felt like we talked too much.
Well, some of us did.
So today we have a script. So every single word we speak is scripted.
And like always,
today.
we start off with a kiss.
Okay.
It said kiss.
We are just going to dive right in.
Okay, let's read the first sentence Liz wrote. Dave's opinion on lives on social media.
Okay.
So I have no idea what that means, I'm glad we wrote a script.
It means
Dave's opinion on lives, on media, on... Why are there so many ons?
People wanted to know, like, what is your opinion on my career path being, like, sharing our lives on social media? How do you feel about our lives being on social media? How do you feel about the social media industry as a whole? Well, people just want your opinion on...
I have kind of always been, at the front of the line. I was the it guy back in high school and college.
I feel like we have to tell the story about that girl at Nordstrom Rack.
And, well,
so
there's
you guys,
no story. It's just facts.
Dave used to always tell me when we started dating.
I got
he would
biggest flirt and best personality paper plate awards. So for years, I've kind of already been front and center of, pre-social media. If social media was around back in the day, I would be on fire.
Dave would tell me he was called the it guy. And I was like, no one calls anyone that. And like, you're a loser.
Yes, they do.
And then one day, this had to be like 8 or 9 years ago.
7 years ago, 4 months, 3 days.
No, it was like, we had only been dating for like 2 or 3 years. We went to Nordstrom Rack together in Chicago. And Dave ran into this girl.
Jess.
Who he knew in college. And she came up to me and she was like, you don't get it. In college, Dave was like the it guy.
It was like, amazing.
And Dave's face when she said this was like, and I was like,
and now then she knew that it was a fact.
So you really like,
I was the it guy. So to loop back to this question, I mean, I don't mind it at all. It's our livelihood now. Like in the early days when you were like, when all I wanted to do was eat and you wanted to take a picture of like an avocado toast again or like a coffee, I was like, this is dumb.
We've definitely rode the waves of like social media trends where, like I've said before, I spent like an ungodly amount on iced coffee, peonies, smoothies.
You still spend too much money on flowers.
Because...
That's for another week, though.
Because that idea of perfection and, like, portraying these perfect lives, that's not me.
But we are perfect. I mean, obviously.
We are.
So to, like, answer that question, I mean, like, I think it's great. Like, it's like... You've grown this awesome business, and you have this great following, and I don't mind it at all. Like, I don't think it's over, like...
It's weird. I mean, it comes with negative... when you put your lives out there, you also, like, open yourself up to criticism and opinions.
Yeah, you just gotta struggle, because it's so few and far between of people that do that, and, like, anyone can say anything, and... We just ignore the people that say weird stuff. Just ignore it, plug.
But that is where I am so grateful to have Dave because he is such a...
Attractive.
No, you're such a balance of like... He doesn't take anyone too seriously. So he's such a good grounding partner to have in the world of social media because I think a lot of times women especially can get caught up in this like... comparison game. Dave doesn't care about anyone else's lives but ours. Like, he's not like worried about what
Yeah, I mean, I care about I love everyone.
Well, you love everyone, but you're not comparing your life to someone else's.
I know. We all used to do that way too much.
But
it's not worth it.
And it was like, I think back then, like, what are you trying to prove with? Do not tap. Oops. What are you trying to prove with the like? I don't know. It just kind of felt like for so long Instagram was like a tally. Like,
yeah,
you I don't know. It was like this ticking match of like who's can. I don't know.
We have blabbled too much on this topic.
Okay.
Next sentence.
Being parents on social media.
What does that mean?
Liz
wrote a script, and it's the most vague thing ever.
Also, why didn't I write it up here? Why is it
I don't know.
here?
And why did you choose 3 words? Like, what do you mean by that?
Charlie's composition book.
Yeah.
Anyways, being parents on social media. I feel like we kind of already answered that. Okay.
Balancing parenting and sense of self. I'll let you lead with this one, because I also don't understand what it means or what the question is.
We're doing a little mindset wellness month.
That's correct.
And a lot of people, I think when you become a parent, you feel like, who was I before becoming a parent? And you kind of have this like...
It doesn't matter, because now you're a parent.
Yeah, but you have this identity crisis where you feel like all of your energy is going towards your kids.
It is.
And you're like, wait, what? I think that sense of self comes back once you like get into a groove as a parent. Like, I feel like
once you're more comfortable as a parent. Like with Charlie, our first kid, it was just a disaster on like all counts, because it's like you don't have any idea what you're doing. But now with our third kid, George, it's like.
But I also think when you're the mom, the first year, like until your kids get to be a year, you kind of feel like we made it. Like I remember when George turned 1, it was like,
yeah.
We did it. Like we made it through. Like, so even if you're a seasoned parent, that first year of life, no matter if it's your first or your 5th kid, like it's hard because it puts a challenge on your entire family dynamic. You're back in the weeds.
Diapers, not sleeping,
and
no schedule.
You kind of forget every time. Like even though you've done it, you're like, where should they be at this point? You're like constantly like, are they saying, I'm still worried about this. Are they saying enough words? Should he have more teeth? Like, should he be
you can't
walking?
worry about that stuff.
Yes, but
you just got to ignore it.
But it's consuming. Being a parent is a very consuming.
Yeah.
So
I would say you consume more over things like that than I do.
We're going to talk about that.
Let's go.
But I think maintaining your sense of self is just getting to the point where I think the best thing you can do as a parent is like get help. Like find babysitters that you love. Like stop making excuses that you're the parent and you should be home with your kids, which I still struggle with. We have something tomorrow and I'm like, George is going to be awake that entire time. Like, I don't know if I should leave him. But
and I'm like, you made the reservation. Like, let's go. Who cares? We're covered.
I know.
We're working on that.
I think, yes, obviously being a parent will always come first, but I think you realize how important it is to like schedule lunch with your girlfriends, go on date nights. Like those are the types of things that give you the balance between being a parent, but like also being your own individual, like adult.
Yeah.
Human.
I agree. Which takes us to our next topic, parenting communication.
Which I feel like we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
If you go back, if you go back, we have done a few of these on like marriage and just
we've gotten so much better about it, but just literally communicate everything. Whether you think it's going to go good, bad, ugly, great, it doesn't matter. Just get it out there, because what we were bad about is we wouldn't say something and then it like boiled up inside of one of us, and then the littlest thing would like trigger a fight that was unnecessary.
And we've said this before, like setting expectations and being like, I know that this is something I struggle with. For example, working at home, I have a hard time working professionally when I feel disorganized or like our house is a mess. So if I feel disorganized personally, it's really hard for me to work on my job. And voicing that to Dave has been like, okay, can you help me with the laundry? Can you clean up this? Like, otherwise I sit at my desk and I'm like I can't focus on work because I'm thinking about that messy room.
You need to
or
fluff the pillows.
Yes, like it's a problem.
It is a problem.
That communication, because I get so many questions, and this is the next topic, like being resentful of your spouse. So many women reach out to me about that because I think we feel as women, we're like, why are we carrying the emotional load of the family? Why do we, and I think this is part of just being emotional human beings, but like, why are we always stressed about like, if we're, for example, we're going on a date night and a babysitter is coming. Why am I frantically worried about leaving the kids and you're just like,
well, because it's like a babysitter that's put our kids to bed like 55,000 times, and I'm not worried that they won't be able to like pull it off and take care of them, and the kids will be safe.
And it's infuriating sometimes because I'm like, I wish I could be more relaxed about it, but then I'm also like, someone needs to have the concern. Like if we were both super chill about it, it'd probably be good, but like I can't picture that. Right. I can't picture that.
You just got to tone it back. Just ignore some things.
But yes, parenting communication. I feel like it sounds so simple, but
we're
like,
on to not getting competitive.
No, I know, but it's gonna circle back.
We're circling back.
But like the communication, it's like you almost want to say like easier said than done, because communication is hard because usually it means it's hard conversations.
Yes.
And like I've talked about with Dave, where if I'm feeling resentful of something, I preface it with like, this is going to be mean, but like I have to say it because it's something I'm holding on to. And I know, first of all, I know it's unnecessary thoughts.
Yeah. And then she'll say it, and then I'll talk through it with her and try to talk her off the ledge or reroute, put her on different tracks that makes more sense because she's just going down like a deep rabbit hole that's unnecessary. Mm-hmm. And then I just got to pull her back. Yeah. Put her over here.
But I think
sometimes she doesn't listen.
I'm thinking back to COVID, which is, like I was wound so tight even before COVID happened. Like I really think COVID helped me like let go of expectations a little bit, relinquish control. Mm-hmm. But before that, I was so wound so tight by like what my expectations were, how my days needed to look for my own productivity levels, and like feeling like my self-worth was at a certain point, and I was doing this for my family. I was doing this for my business. And it was like, I think my brain felt so consumed by like feeling the emotions of the family, work, like maintaining my own self, like identity, that I just wasn't communicating anything. We were like tiptoeing around each other, and you were like, what is wrong? And I was like, you should know. Like,
Again, Liz thinks I'm a mind reader.
But like,
it's gotten better.
I think that's where communication, it's like, you just got to do it.
Yeah. And but it's easier said than done. Like, it's not just going to be like overnight that you're like, oh, I'm communicating better. I'm perfect now. Like, it takes time.
And you're kind of a hard person to communicate with sometimes.
Because I'm always right.
No.
Yeah.
No, because Dave is very black and white. Like, he thinks there should be a reason for everything.
And there is. You just sometimes won't say what your reason is behind your thought.
Well, probably, and usually that's because it's very, like, emotionally triggered.
Right.
But I know that you're not going to get it or understand it.
Right, because there's not really, like,
there's not a reason in your head. You don't think it's, like, a justifiable reason. But in my head, I'm like, this is causing me emotional stress. And it's like, that is enough of a reason.
Yeah, which I understand, but then I try to go black and white with you, so you like look at the
Sometimes
big
I don't want to
picture.
be black and white.
Well, you gotta be.
I just want to be like fuchsia.
Fuchsia.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's hard.
It's easy.
But communication is really everything in a marriage, especially once you have kids and like
calendar invites.
But like once you have kids and you feel like you're never communicating like alone. Like it's always like there's a child like hugging our leg and like watching us and what we're doing. And it's like before you have to communicate before it gets to like red levels to avoid like the arguments in front of your kids, which like we've all done.
Yeah.
But that's why the longer you delay it, that's when the resentment and the competition. I'm way more, not competitive, but like
Yeah, what do you mean not getting competitive?
I think it means, like
if we're playing bag toss in the front yard, like, I want to beat you.
No, I don't think it's competition that way. I think it's more like tallying.
Oh, yeah. I don't tally at all.
And
you are a big tallier.
I know.
Like, I'm playing golf tomorrow, and Liz will be upset with me as soon as I roll out of bed tomorrow because I'm going to play golf. Even though...
Why is golf such a long commitment?
Well, like, you've done, like, 6
Stop.
boozy lunches with your girlfriends in the last, like, 10 days, and I'm not like, oh, another one, and, like, get mad when I wake up.
Those are like an hour and a half.
Maybe.
I feel very, like...
They're longer than that. But I don't care. Liz can fly and travel and go anywhere for any amount of time, and I don't care. I'll just watch the kids. And when she comes home, I'll be like, hey, welcome back. But when I go play golf, like, you roll out of bed and you're like, oh, hi.
I think it's just so easy
and then
for
I get
men
home
to
and
check
you're like,
out.
I love it. I'm like, okay, hi.
I think it's
I
so
missed you
easy
too.
for guys to just check out, and it's again, it's kind of the resentment of like, it's so easy for you to just like walk away for 4.5 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours,
7,
and I'm just like,
19,
oh my god, I need to work, I need to clean the house, I need to take care of the babies, I need to pick the kids up from school. Like, I think, like, again,
I just do those things.
I know
when you're out drinking with your friends.
Shut up. But like, I think. For women, why is it that, like, we feel like these tasks are so heavy? And you can just roll through them.
Because you just have to roll through it. Like, there's no other option.
I know.
And you're gone.
I just feel like... I talked about this in my blog post today. Today is Thursday. This is going to go live tomorrow. But,
so complicated.
Like...
What
did I talk about?
What?
Just feeling like there's always... like all these excuses of things you should be doing, or like whenever I have a task at hand, I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, ooh, I also have to go like clean those dishes, or like I need to fold that laundry, but like I'm playing with George, or like, oh shoot, I gotta go respond to that email. It's like I'm constantly thinking 3 steps ahead.
Gotta live in the moment.
And I'm not in the moment. You are always in the moment.
Yeah.
That's why you don't get stressed.
Yeah.
What stresses you out?
You.
Okay, but what else? What else? Let's do a deep dive into date. What stresses you out?
I don't know. What stresses me out other than you?
Money.
Yeah. Because you spend a lot. Budgeting 101. Cut Liz's credit cards up.
Like, I don't know. Money.
Yeah, it's not like that stressful. I just try to talk to you about spending less money, and then you
what
just
like
spend more
emotionally
money.
stresses you out? What's like an emotional heavy thing?
I don't know, like if I'm playing bad at golf and I can't turn it around.
You get anxious though sometimes.
Yeah.
But like what?
Guys, just
what
live
are
life
triggers?
stress-free. It's easier.
I know, but easier said than done.
That's correct. You just gotta ignore it.
This is why Dave is a
23.
good balance to my, at times, high-strung life. He, like, brings me down. And also,
I have the looks, the relaxed personality. What do you provide?
I honestly don't know. The stress,
Yeah.
the rush,
Mm-hmm.
the disorder, mostly, even though I'm trying to be in order.
Yes.
I've changed a lot. I used to be...
Yes.
Do you like me? Can
I
you
love
give the world 3 things you like about me? They have to be serious. Don't be a joke.
Your nude bras. All one of them.
3.
No.
Okay. 3 things you like about
Are you
me.
bored?
3.
Are you
I
tired?
feel like very like my shoulders are tight. 3 things you like about me.
Number one, like, I love and I'm so proud, like, although you are stressed with things, like, it's also a quality that has made you so successful in your business. And I do love that part of you, too, that, like, if she's going to do something, you're going to do it,
Mm-hmm.
like, no matter what. And that can be annoying and frustrating too, because Liz will be like, hey, will you like take this garbage bag out? And I'll be like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm in the middle of doing something and I have all intentions of doing it in the next like 5 minutes. And then if I don't do it in like 5 seconds, you just like grab the bag loudly and like are like, so like, and then and I'm like, I'll take it. And she's like, no, I got it, whatever. And it's like,
I thought this was like what you like about me.
It is what I like. But like, it drives me nuts when it applies to like those little things that don't matter. But it's the same thing that like when you want to do something, you go do it, and that's why you have determination.
Okay. That took a weird turn.
Most of these will.
Okay. What else? What else?
I love it. Like you like to like we love to just have fun together. Like go out and get a drink and we laugh. And like 90% of the time you think I'm funny unless you're in one of your moods where you're like, can't you just be serious?
Again,
you gotta have like the pros and the cons of each category.
Okay. So I'm fun.
Sometimes. 90% of the time.
I feel like that's a pretty good balance.
Yeah.
As a woman. 90-10. Okay.
It's sometimes 80-20.
Okay. I was kind of hoping these would just be like overly...
You just wanted me to be like, your ears.
No, I like these.
I love your ears.
But like, they're kind of taking turns of... Okay, what else? Last one. Then I'll let you go.
What was the question?
3 things you love about me.
I do love... Liz is also... I mean, this is a... I love... You're an awesome cook. Liz is a really good cook. Is that weird to say?
No.
I love
appreciate
that about
that.
you. You make good food. But I'm fat because of it.
I love food.
Thanks, Tyler.
I love you.
Oh.
All right, on that note.
That's episode 6.
I think you got to have those moments where you tell people.
I think they're not listening to us.
You make your husband or your spouse or anyone walking, not anyone walking down the street, but just anyone, you got to give like some confident boosters.
What are 3 things you love about me?
You're funny.
Correct. You
are empathetic. You're very aware of people's emotions. You're a good like reader of people.
Mm-hmm.
And going with the fun, you're like always up for fun, and you're always up for like being friends with everyone. Dave is friends with everyone. I used to be an extrovert. I am an introvert now that I am married to Dave Adams because he just overshadows any friendly gesture I try to do. Like if I'm like, hi, Dave's like, hello, good morning. And I'm like, hi. Like, that's just one example.
That's who I am. I can't change. I was born this way.
Yes, you're empathetic and like considerate. You're very like, you're the most like helpful, like always up to lend a helping hand.
Yeah. Like I'll pull if someone has a flat tire, I'll like pull over and help them. Yeah. And Liz is like, "What are you doing? We have to go."
Or Dave will be like, "Down the street, this guy ran out of motor oil. I'm gonna go to the store for him." I'm like, "What? Like, how do you even know that?" Or like if we're in an Uber, by the end of that Uber, Dave is best friends with the Uber driver.
Yeah.
You're also just like the best dad.
I know.
Okay.
You're the best mom. I should have said that instead of cooking. But you are a really good cook. You're the best mom.
Communication, even if that means confident boost.
Thanks for joining us.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
We're going to let you guys go. Have a great weekend.
Call me.